I wanted to make sure that we could move through and address issues as men that we know other brothers are dealing with. And we don't have all the answers, but we know at the end of the day, what I think unites us and what I think allows us to have meaningful conversation is we know we don't have all the answers, but we know the one who does. And we know that that's God. And so at the end of the day, our prayer, man, is that through the conversation that we have and we gather one together, one amongst another, is that we're sharing enough of how God has made an impact and a difference in our lives that somebody else who's watching will want to give a chance. Can we just go around real quick and just share, man, if you don't mind, how much of an impact your relationship with God has had on you?
I would say God's impact on my life is so strong that I'm still here.
Wow.
When I wanted to go, he wouldn't let me. So for anyone out there that may be having suicidal thoughts, that may be on the brink of taking their life right now watching this video, I'm telling you, man, God loves you. And you have a purpose to be here. And another thing that kept me going is that everybody has someone that's attached to them. My story is not for me. My story is for who God created, that's going to hear what I said, that's going to come to him.
Just over the years, I knew I had like mental health issues and I avoided it, right? And losing my job at the end of 2019 and then going into this pandemic, I couldn't run from it anymore. I was a workaholic. That was my way of numbing it and not dealing with it. And literally, I'll never forget it. I was at a point where all I could do was just drop to my knees and scream out to God, like, what do I need to do? I cannot feel like this anymore.
Yeah.
Made me go see my therapist, connect me with a psychiatrist and everything, right? And I got past the whole, how's everybody gonna see me? I had to get through that. And
That's big, man.
what God showed me throughout this whole experience is I gotta help the next generation understand it's okay to address your mental health issues because that's the only way we can move forward. That spiritual warfare is real, but there are tools put in this earth. Just like the enemy has his tools, God has planted tools for us to use to overcome those battles.
I'm married, but I'm a good husband. Wife's not complaining. I go to work every day. My value systems are good. No problems. Everything going okay. And then so one day I'm sitting there in my bedroom and I'm on a treadmill it was elliptical. Next thing you know, I'm laying on the floor. I'm struggling to breathe. I'm like, what's going on? Wife said, let me call an ambulance. I say, no, I'm good. Got up, chest popping all over the place. So I drove over to the hospital. As soon as I got in there, they said, hey, Mr. Scott, you're having a heart attack.
Wow.
They put me in a helicopter, flew me straight to Prince George, put 2 stents in. So I'm in the hospital, and the nurse sitting there singing, and I'm like, so I talked to the nurse. She told me she remembered Reed Temple. I was like, okay, minister. As soon as I got out the hospital, Reed Temple, Pastor Washington, join the church. I say, God, you nudged me. I'm doing all the right thing, but I'm not really living for you. And I was like, wow. And then I said, God, you the answer. And I kind of just started changing and making God focus on my life rather than just living trying to be a good guy without God.
Mine came in the form of the greatest impact. And I had a female friend. God told me that was not going to be the person I was going to marry. But we had been together for 6 years. Her 2 brothers had already served time at State Penn. And they called me and said, you've been with my sister for 6 years and you're not gonna marry her? Where you gonna live? Wow. We're coming to DC to take you out. Wow. And that's when I gave my life to Christ.
Wow. My transition from my life before Christ to my life after Christ was rocky. Wow. I lost a lot. I made poor decisions along the way. I didn't handle a lot of my relationships in the way that I should have. I walked away from a lot of people, but I didn't do so in a loving way. But I'll tell you, man, on this side, I would not change the fact that I chose to say yes, and I would not change the fact that I walked down the road that God had me to walk down. But I was just telling my wife yesterday, man, I am the man that I am because of the journey that I've been on. And we all have journeys. And I think the beautiful thing about our sharing today is that no matter what our journeys have been, we should not be ashamed. And today, we can be who we are in God, and with God's grace, we can keep on going. So thank y'all, man, for your time, yo. Been good conversation, man.